So, string theory hack number 3. So we've already done the tonic, subdominant, dominant, and we did that in 1 and 2. So now we're going to talk about the bad boys, these ones. First, this one. So we know that rock and roll is, it's been a long time since I rock and roll. It's been a long time since I did the stroll. Let me get it back, let me get it back, let me get it back, let me get it back. Baby, where I come from. Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. So we know that, right? It's called the 1, 4, 5 songs. Right, now we're going to introduce this bad boy because he's dark. Ooh. And didn't the rock and roll boys know that? Oh yeah, they knew about the 12-bar blues, but they knew about this fella here, Led Zeppelin. That dark minor third. The Allman Brothers. Deep Purple. Bad to the Bone. I just do a bit of a. The Rolling Stones, Little Red Rooster. I lost my fingernail here today, so I've got to fix this fingernail. But anyway, so I'll use my middle finger. So, and of course I already said that joke where John Bonham and Ritchie Blackmore were sitting in a bar. John Bonham, Led Zeppelin's drummer, and Ritchie Blackmore, Deep Purple's guitarist. And they're sitting there, and John Bonham, being the cheeky Gemini that he is, says to Ritchie, the Aryan, you don't fuck around with Aries. Not even Geminis. No one beats an Aries, right? So Ritchie Blackmore, John Bonham says to him, he says, don't you get bored with just and Blackmore turns around and says, yeah, don't you get busy playing songs with only one chord? And that's a true story. So there's the hack, guys. Here's the bad boy here. And remember, follow the dots, the pentatonic. But remember, most guitars have the dot here in the wrong place. And so I didn't wait for these liquid paper to dry because classical guitars don't have the dots. We don't do dots. But most guitars, you'll see the dots, and they'll have the dot here. That's wrong. You need a minor interval here, not here, because then the minor interval will repeat here, and that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So you've got to make that a tone here, and a minor interval here, just like here. Minor, tone, tone, minor, tone. Now, why is this guy a bad boy? Well, for hundreds of years, the Catholic Church persecuted this note, the flattened seventh. Let me explain. Let's say this is Do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. So, see that sweet sound between the seventh and the eighth? Now what happens when you flatten that is it sounds like this. See, that's going in a different direction. And it's called the devil's flattened seventh, because this is God's pure seventh. So this is the devil. So what you can get, so now that you know that this is your, come on, twist and shout, come on, baby. Bum, ba, bum. Bum, ba, bum, bum. So you know those, the full string, the quarter, the third string. Now you go to bad boy, and then you go to this flattened seventh from the devil, and what you got is this. And you can pretty much play 90% of all the songs ever written just with the pentatonic scale. This is the diatonic, it has 7. So half of the songs ever written are 1, 4, 5s. But then there's the rock and roll songs that do all the, you know, I just can't think, there's so many songs that do this. Led Zeppelin in My Time of Dying. What they're doing there is they're sort of doing a basically the extent of the pentatonic scale. And as I said, this is a $100 guitar. My friend gave it to me because it's got the cutout and it's got a good high action. So, and it tunes well, it's pretty straight, and there's good separation in those notes. So, if you take $100, if you've got one of these collecting dust in the attic, you get one of these for $5, or just use that cigarette lighter like I showed you. And with $105, you can go to a homeless guy who's got a dog that's sad, and he doesn't know because he's only got 2 fingers on this hand. He's a veteran, got his hands blown off. He's got 2 fingers over here and 2 fingers over here, and he doesn't know that he can ever play music. And even if you just taught him one string, the G string, right? You can just get that guy to do things like follow the dots. He can even just if he wants to be funny, extra clever, you can just use the octave. Tell him to follow the dots, make sure you put the dot here, and even if he's just doing this for his dog all day long. Now I'm trying to be Jimmy Page with his violin bow. Catch you on the next one.